In this video, we're going over how you can get clients from LinkedIn today. And there have been some massive changes that have happened to the LinkedIn platform in the last couple of years, which mean that the way you approach client generation is completely different now. So this new setup is actually crucial to ensure that you can speak to enough prospects and get enough meeting on your calendar so that you can grow your business. So LinkedIn is making it harder for you to outreach to prospects. And the way you may see that in your business is that when you have a LinkedIn account, you can only send 100 to 200 connection requests per week. Now, what that means is you're inherently limited on the volume. You've also probably seen that LinkedIn has action limits, which means maybe you can't like as many posts, maybe you can't comment on as many posts, all designed to reduce the amount of spam on the platform. And finally, LinkedIn has been cracking down on bad automation tools. I mean, these are the automation tools that you log into and for some reason they pop up your location in Serbia, and the next day it's in New York, and the next day it's in London. These are the ones that they've been flagging and not liking the look of and giving you that temporary ban message you probably have been fearing to see on LinkedIn. Now, if this sounds bad, it's probably because you've been using the old setup, and this is what the old setup looks like. It looks like you're sending a lot of one-on-one messages, i.e. you're like logging in manually and writing all these messages out, which by the way should be automated. 2, you're probably building manual lead lists, so you're going to Sales Navigator, copying a profile, saving it into a spreadsheet somewhere, and then trying to find the right person to message on that list. And then you're probably using dangerous tools to automate with, which you think seem okay from the outside, but in actual honesty are doing you more damage than good. So instead, let me tell you what the new setup looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to do it in your account. The new setup is using account rotation. So instead of being limited to this 100 to 200 connection requests per week, you can use a tool that will rotate any LinkedIn accounts you currently have, maybe yours, your friends, your family, your team members, and it rotates it all automatically for you, so you can go from 100 to 200 connection requests per week to more like 400 to 800 to 2000 just by using more accounts. 2, the new setup uses automated messaging with these personalized variables. So when you send out a message, it is automated, but it doesn't look automated, and that gets you a higher response rate. And then finally, you need to use a tool that has the right safety precautions in place. Let me show you what those safety precautions are. 1, it needs to follow the LinkedIn connection limits. Each of us, by the way, get around 100 to 200 connection limits per week. And if you don't use that correctly or you go over that number, your account can get frozen, and this account number resets every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So you need to use a tool that understands this connection limit. You also need to use a tool that understands the LinkedIn action limit, so you can do a certain number of actions on LinkedIn, like profile viewing or liking or commenting. And this is the most important one. You need a tool with a static residential proxy that doesn't rotate your IP address. What that means is when you log into that tool and it logs in for you and does actions for you, that location is never changing. There's no reason for LinkedIn to suspect that you're doing something automated. That's really, really important. So I'm going to show you how to set this up right now. So first thing you got to do is you got to get your lead list. I mentioned we don't want to manually build lead lists. We want to do this all automatically. So what we do is we go over to Sales Navigator and we create searches. So for example, we can click on to lead filters and we can do a search for a prospect that we're interested in. Let's say SEO manager, for example, SEO director maybe is the job titles we're going after. And we instantly get 31,000 results. Now, what I love to do, by the way, is use this filter posted on LinkedIn because it shows me the most active profiles in this account list. And by the way, this list is valuable, for example, if you're selling a SaaS solution into SEO managers or an SEO service that is used in conjunction with an existing SEO team. For example, maybe you sell more backlinks. So automatically we get a much cleaner list, and then we can do things such as adding in geography. So for example, let's say we only want to sell to people in the United Kingdom because I'm there, and now we probably have a list a little bit smaller now. This is a nice clean list that we can start to work with. All we got to do right now, and you can obviously do more filters if you want to, there's no limit on how many filters you do, but we then copy over this Sales Navigator list. So remember, previously you would have to like open each profile up, save it to a spreadsheet somewhere, very manual. Now we just copy over a Sales Navigator URL. Now we're going to head over to the tool called HeyReach, which is one of the safer ones which I mentioned. We're going to go over to leads, click add leads, Sales Navigator leads, continue, and we're going to paste this link in there. Now we can give it a name just so we know what's going on. I'm going to call it like SEO manager list UK. I'm going to select senders. Now this is important. I'll explain to you in a second what this is. I'm going to click start importing. Now literally in a few minutes, all the leads that you were manually collecting are going to be pushed into HeyReach for you. You don't need to pay for any extra scraping tools or risk your account. Now I mentioned something about account rotation. You're allowed with this tool to add as many LinkedIn accounts as you want. So let's say, for example, your LinkedIn account can send 200 connection requests per week. One account gets you 200 connection requests. If you had 3 accounts, you would get 450 connection requests. If you had 6 accounts, you would get 900 connection requests. If you had 10 accounts, let's say right at the end of it, you have 2,000 connection requests per week being sent on your behalf. This is huge volume. The more connection requests we can send, the more outreach meshing we can do, the more people we can speak to. And if you have a very good message, you can get more meetings booked into your sales calendar. Now, once you have your accounts and you have your lead list, the last step is to get the campaign running. So let's do that right now. We click on campaigns, we click start new campaign. Let's give the campaign SEO manager UK. We click create and we select the leads we like. So we're going to put that SEO manager list of the UK with the 384 leads. And we can have some exclude options too. I'm not going to use them right now. We'll click continue. We can select as many accounts as we want. This is an awesome feature. So we're going to have 5 accounts running at the same time. Then we'll click continue again. And now we can create what the campaign looks like. Personally, I like to start off with doing a if connection. So if they're connected with me, I don't need to message them. They're connected. If they're not connected, I'm going to do an add an action and I'm going to send a connection request. And I really like to do blank connection requests. Data has proven time and time again that a blank connection request has a higher acceptance rate than a connection request with stuff inside. So just keep it blank for now. Click save. And then we're going to start to get into the nitty gritty of it. We might, for example, have us like a post. That liking a post happens the day before and then we give them a message. Let's do 3 hours and then we're going to send them a message. To look a little bit human, a little bit more natural, I'm going to say, hey, first name, saw you run SEO over at company name, wondering how you're getting more visibility with AI. Search, saw some things going wrong on your site that are dropping visibility by circa 20%. Might already be on your radar, but happy to ping it over. Let me know. And that's it. That's the simple message that I send. It seems like it's relevant. We're using personalization and variables, which I mentioned are really important. And we have a message that is giving value to start it off. So that's it. I click copy. I have to create a fallback message, so one that doesn't include all the variables. I'm gonna say, hey, saw you run SEO, and there we go. We can do it like that. I'm gonna click save. Super simple. Click continue, click review and launch, and click launch campaign. And boom, there we go. We have a launch campaign with a lead list, with senders, and we're sending out 1,000 connection requests per week to qualified prospects so that we can start a conversation with them and hopefully book in those calls for your business. Now, in this video, I showed you the system and a singular way of how to approach this to get more leads and more calls booked from LinkedIn. But there's way more methods you can implement that I just didn't show here today that are absolutely killing it right now. So click here to go to the next video and learn the 5 methods that you can use to stand out and book more meetings that other people aren't really doing. I'll see you in the next one and good luck for your sales.